We all set, Steve? Very good. Well, welcome. Thank you very much for coming to the March 2023 North Fulton Amateur Radio League meeting. We have a pretty good turnout this evening. A number of people on Zoom. We have an interesting presentation coming up later. But first, we're going to get through a couple of business items, so hang on for a minute. Before we do anything, we're going to talk about going to the next slide, Steve. Thank you. We're going to talk about the emergency exits. Does everybody know where the emergency exits are? There is one on the back right corner. Follow the cameraman, he'll tell you. You can go out the front corner and go out the front door. The restrooms are in the far back right part of the lobby. The Zoom audience is going to need the microphone in your hand if you want to make a statement or ask a question, so let us bring it to you. And there's coffee and cookies over there, and make sure there's no coffee or cookies left at the end of the night. Please. All right, next slide, please. Fixing technical problems is one of the things hams do. So, we have this esteemed gentleman here tonight. His name is Wes Lamboli, Whiskey 3, Whiskey Lima. And he's going to tell us about membership updates and some other things according to new members. So here he goes.
Thank you, Mike. And these are the folks that took the class for their volunteer examiners, right? At Slopes, and we had 5 people be successful. One of them's here tonight. Stand up, would you please? This is Chad. And also Robert. Robert got his extra. Thank you. And Chad is going to get his extra in just a little while. He has 4 kids, I believe, that want to be hams too, so he's got his hands full. and he's interested in mountain topping, or summits on the air, parks on the air, stuff like that. And I don't know if anybody's here tonight that's into that stuff. I used to be, but not anymore. Anyway, and the number up there is 309 members. We've got 314 now. So we're still continuing to grow, and we've got an effort underway now to go back and find out why people didn't renew that were members before, but have decided not to pay their dues, and we're going to talk to them. And if we have one of the guys on the team to do that, some guy named Guido. So we're looking forward to talking to the folks. Anyway, that's all I got.
Well, thank you, Wes. You know, the interesting thing is that candidates who get their technician's license, and even anybody who does an upgrade, pardon me while I walk past the speakers, the FRN system does pretty well. Within 2 or 3 days, everybody's call sign, who's a new call sign, is already active. So that's pretty good. All right, moving on. We have some things that are going to go on this month. Who got their newsletter? Almost everybody. Who didn't get a newsletter? Robert. It's in the mail, or you can get it on the website. We'll show you that in a minute. Checks in the mail. Yeah. So April 1st, the Georgia Aries and the POTA crew are running a statewide activity. And we actually have the North Fulton Aries representative who is going to be activating Sweetwater Creek State Park. That's Jim, W4IU. He's sitting right here. And he can tell us all kinds of things, or you could go read about it in the newsletter. So if anybody has any questions, we'll let Jim talk in just a minute. April 8th and 9th, we have this other contest coming. What's it called? Georgia QSO Party. Oh, yeah. And then on the 15th, the U.S. Islands guys are working with the POTA team. This is the big POTA team in the United States, by the way, both times. The U.S. Islands folks are working with the POTA folks to activate parks as well. So you can go do some activation, go check out the information. You could be a chaser, you could do whatever. And then on May 13th, we're going back up to Lake Lanier to West Bank Park, and we're going to do the one-day getaway with the U.S. Islands folks and have a big picnic like we have over the last couple of years. So we look forward to all of you joining us. And if you want to bring some friends along, please do. So more information will be coming on that. Jim, you want to say anything about the upcoming April 1st activity?
So good evening, everybody. I'm Jim, W4IU, and yes, we're having a POTA activation at the Sweetwater Creek. It's on the west side of town, about 15 minutes from downtown. We have a pavilion already set aside. I'm going to have at least 2 radios, 3 antennas. We're planning on working 6 meters through 40 meters, sideband FT8 and CW. So if you're interested in coming on out, please join us. We have, like I said, we've got a pavilion out there. There's 4 tables if you want to set up your radio and put up an antenna and give it a go. You're welcome to do that. So looking forward to seeing you. If you have any questions, I'm good in QRZ. Send me an email and I'll try to answer as soon as I can.
All right, we're back. The mic died, not this mic, the handheld mic. Okay, what else do we have going on? Get some YISA happenings. Everybody knows what YISA stands for, right? Anybody not know? Raise your hand. Chad. YISA stands for Youth Education Scholarship Activities. And it's a separate entity, if you want to call it that, from an accounting standpoint, inside the North Fulton Amateur Radio League. And we use it to keep all the funds that are associated with the activities that are conducted separate from the operating funds of the club. And then we use those funds for scholarship activities. We send them to the American Radio Relay League. Say that 6 times fast. And we also use them for local scholarships and other supporting activities. So it's something that Wes and a few other people started. Jim, W4QO, who was silent key, no longer with us. He was one of the starters, and Martha, W4MSA. So been around for a while. There were some other people, I'm sure, involved, right, Wes? Yes. All righty. So Martha happens to be an Eris ambassador. And that kind of works to our advantage because we get a little bit of a heads up on what the ARIS activity level looks like in the Southeast. So the schools that want to have an ARIS contact must go through the process to apply. And Webbridge Middle School has done that. Webbridge Middle School is right over here on Webbridge Road. It's in Alpharetta. And on the 31st of March, we, North Fulton Amateur Radio League, some elite members of us are going to go over there and operate classroom demonstrations for sixth graders in 4 classrooms and five periods during the day. So there's 22 classrooms of kids that we're going to actually conduct some kind of presentation to. And the presentations will all be a little different subjects. Depends on who's presenting in what classroom. So that's coming up. We've got a lot of work going there. Here's what the benefit of that is. Those presentations are going to serve as platforms or storyboards for youth programs that we want to continue to develop and expand upon. And we will use them in the following ARIS contacts, the ones at Augusta Prep and Burris Elementary. Augusta Prep is actually out in Evans, Georgia, which is out by Augusta, believe it or not. And Burris Elementary is a Marietta City school, different from Cobb County schools, but that's coming up as well. On top of that, we have the Computer Museum of America activity that's being developed. It's a week-long ham camp. So these workshops will be used on a daily basis, spread out over the week's period. We're working with the Computer Museum of America to get that set up. Again, thank you, Wes and Martha, for spearheading that, and John, and for IHV. And I think Warren's involved as well. KD4Z. So, look for more requests for volunteers to help out with those activities. And if you think that you want to participate, let us know. We'll be more than happy to have you jump in and give us a hand. Right, Steve? Steve's smiling. Steve is going to participate. He's looking forward to it. He's going to do CW. All right, moving on. We talked about the ARIS. The ARIS. We talked about the ARIES activity with the Georgia ARIES team. ARIES has a couple of other things. North Fulton ARIES has a couple of other things going on. A couple of them are going up to do the Georgia Death Race. Does anybody know what that is? Does anybody? No, nobody knows what the Georgia Death Race is. It's an Appalachian Trail-based activity, 74 miles long. It's run by the Georgia Death Race organization, believe it or not. It's got national recognition, and the National Park Service has told the sponsor of the race that if they don't have radio support for the logistics, they can't run the race. So there's a lot of ARIES teams and other ham radio operators that are going to serve as all kinds of radio-related and communication-related activity participants in this event. So we'll see what Bill brings back. I don't know who else is going. I think maybe Scott might be going. K4JXE. All right. And then finally, Georgia State Parks in the Air, as Jim talked about. So that's what's coming up. A lot of things going on. What's next, gentlemen? Mr. Tremontanis.
Hello. Okay. Just a couple of housekeeping things. I know there's a few of you out there that have ordered badges, and It's not a high-ticket item, so we tend to do it in batches, maybe every 2 months or 3 months. So at the end of this month, I'll put something out on the reflector. If you want to get a badge, if you just got your license and you want a little ID, the information is on the website. You could order through the mart. If you want it shipped directly to your house, you pay a little extra for postage. Or if you want it shipped to us here, we can disseminate it at the meeting. It may take a little longer for you to get it. So be patient with us and get it out. ARL memberships. As you may or may not know, as an affiliated club with the ARL, if you renew your ARL memberships, QST and the like, through the club on the club webpage, the club gets a little bit of a rebate. Still costs you the same amount, but it helps to support the club in some fashion. What the ARL has done, they changed the process a little, and they made it a little more intricate for us. But when you go to the mart and you sign up to renew your ARL membership, in the mart you'll see there's a file to download, and it's sort of a profile of information that they want from you to keep their records updated. So when you pay on the mart, you send me that filled out form, and I send the ARL your payment along with that form, and they renew or grant you a new membership. And while we're on the topic of ARL, we got a letter last month, and it says, "Dear friends, on behalf of the ARL Foundation, thank you so much for your contribution of $4,000 to sponsor 2 scholarships, 2,000 each of the name of North Fulton Amateur Radio League and the Metro Atlanta Telephone Pioneers Radio Club." And they're very pleased to offer these scholarships to deserving young hams or aspiring hams. And this is a benefit primarily through Wes, Martha, and the YISA team. The proceeds from Ham Jam go to youth activities, as we've been talking about earlier tonight, and the bulk of the funds go to these scholarships to support young people in their endeavors in ham radio. So, and another thing, if you do renew your QST membership, you'll get to see things like this. Gentleman with a lightsaber. In this month's issue is our own Whiskey 3 Whiskey Lemur, Wes Lamboli, with his Razor antenna. It's also the 51st anniversary where he had the cover story article. So he wouldn't come up and brag about it, so I'll brag about it for him. So read your magazine. I got a copy here if you want to thumb through it, but I'm taking it home with me. Thank you.
Thanks, John. All right, let's take a minute and just look at the website. Has everybody been to the website recently? So you all know everything that's on the website? If you nod your head yes, maybe we'll move on. All right, you need to know that there's like 46 some odd pages of stuff that goes back to 1973, I think. Now, you can't see it all, but Bill Cobb will let you see it if you ask him nicely. Anyway, there's a couple things we want to point out. The first thing we want to do, and Steve has done a very nice job of getting us to the website so we can actually point to these links. You can get all the information in these particular upcoming activity notes. If you highlight the links there, get rid of that thing. There you go. If you highlight the links where it says click here or anything else like that, then you will be prompted to go to another page or brought to another page that'll give you the information that you're looking for. So if you forgot the web page, you're in tough luck because you have to be on the web page to see it. But if you forgot the Zoom link, you can pick up the Zoom link here as well. So let's see what else. Go over to the main menu, more links, the thing on the side there. So a couple things here. See the little carrots on the right-hand side of this menu? You have to hover over those carrots to get to the submenus and stay hovered over them. So for example, go to Elmer's. Don't go up there. Get back over to the right side. Oh, see on the right side? Go down, Elmer's, there you go. Look at that. Now, if you move off that carrot without going to one of the submenus, it disappears. Oh, really? Maybe. Oh, maybe I should learn how to run this. All right. Anyway, click the Elmer's thing there. What's going on? The Elmer list. Click on that. Look at that. So this needs to be updated. So go take a look at this and see if you want to be somebody who could be listed on this list. Right? And we'll add you to the list. Just let Bill Cobb or me or Steve or Dave or even Wes, let us know. All right? Anybody got any questions on the website navigation? No? Yes?
If in the process of navigating around through the website, if in fact you find links that are not functional or outdated or need to be deleted, send an email back to the club, and this way we can kind of get onto it, because this website is so deep and has so many different aspects to it. I don't think anybody knows all the stuff that's up there.
That's true. There's a lot of good information in the background on the website, so if you want to poke around on it, let us know. Is there anything that anybody would like to add to the website? Drop us an email as well, right? So if you've got, an area of interest that's not on there, let us know.